in this country, and government doesn't get to say that you have to put you don't need to, in order to be a fit parent, you do not need to embrace transgender ideology. That's just the bottom line. The school system can't say that your children are only allowed to come to school, you're only allowed to speak, you're only allowed to exist if you embrace this political ideology that, quite frankly, most Americans do not embrace. I mean, this is something that's being pushed by a pretty select group. And yeah, it's something I've interacted with. And, I encourage anyone that has been discriminated based upon simply their speech against transgenderism, or telling their children that they were born a boy or born a girl, and that's what they are. If a school teacher or a principal is threatening you because you're raising your child in that manner, then odds are you have a claim.
But Alan, hold on a minute. We have several courts now that have decided, in California at least, I know of, I think at least one case where a father was deprived by the mother during a divorce proceeding to see his son because he disagreed with the court that his son is really a girl. And by the way, the mother also does gender transition. She has a gender transition practice. So she fled Texas to do forum shopping in California, apparently found a favorable forum, and got a judge who apparently has a transgender child herself to say basically that the father can no longer see his child. And so that sort of goes against what you're saying. And so a lot of people are confused. Fathers in particular are terrified because most fathers that I've spoken to would never try to do this to a minor child. So I just wanted to find out more about this and what you have to say.
Well, it is very important that you go into the appropriate court, just like that woman was able to forum shop in a California state court because it was a family matter. Yeah, encourage anyone that's going to pursue one of these claims to go into federal court. Federal court isn't as maybe politically charged as the word comes to my head, but federal court system, just as a general matter, I mean, they're not elected judges, so they don't have to worry about political backlash. And just in the whole, federal judges and the federal court system in whole has a little bit more of a mechanism in there for you to the legal issues and separate them from whatever political ideology might be at issue. So if you're looking for an attorney, I mean, I'd suggest having them asking them what court you're going into and why you're going into this court versus another. I'm not saying state court is never the option. In fact, a lot of times state court is the right option, but there should be a reason why you're going to state court versus federal court. The situation in Texas, that's a good example of where someone selected the right court, and it's important that you select the right court as well, so that your claims are heard by someone with the experience and adjudicate your case.
Got it. So with these school board meetings, if a parent was to say, I disagree that with the teachers, because it's usually the teacher, and of course, the National Education Association is leading the fight to force critical race theory being taught in schools. And they're also leading the fight for this transgender surgery stuff. If you disagree with any of these teachers, now you can be declared violent and have your kid taken away from you. And that's the issue that a lot of people are terrified. They're leaving the state in droves if they have kids. And I just wanted to see how you square this up with being able to exercise your right of free speech at a school board meeting and then just, have, a government agent come up and steal your kids from you. How do we deal with that?
Well, there's a lot of claims there. I mean, said, we've got retaliation for exercise of free speech. You've got the school board itself. I mean, right now, the ACLU, they're taking free speech cases that are of a certain ideological bent that tends to not coincide with at least a lot of my clients, probably a lot of your clients too, Mike. Thankfully, though, there's a lot of private attorneys out there. They're still willing to fight for free speech for everyone. and you've been kicked out for no reason from a school board, or you've had some type of reporting incident, yeah, simply based upon your speech, I strongly encourage you to reach out to an attorney with a background in free speech litigation.
So Alan, go ahead and tell my viewers how to get in touch with you. Give them your contact info, your phone number, and I'll go ahead on this video and include it in the screen, just so you can try to maybe lead these parents in the right, these disenfranchised families in the right direction.
My phone number is 619-905-9105.
Okay, and
And
you're based where?
there you go.
Okay, go ahead, Alan.
Take a lot of cases all across the country. I'm licensed in Hawaii and California. Take cases in the District of Columbia as well. You know, if it's the right case, I've litigated Rhode Island, Louisiana. I've litigated about 12 states. So give me a call if this is something that's troubled you. You know, either I'll represent you myself, or at the bare minimum, I'll put you in touch with the right person. You know.
Okay, now everybody who's listening, if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comments. Alan and I will make best efforts to answer them. And we're going to go ahead and make this, I'm going to continue this and have Alan come on, you know, every once in a while and talk about, you know, parental rights and your right of self-defense to get you all clued in, because we all know that the mainstream news buries all of this stuff. It's not, you know, their agenda is not the Bill of Rights. Their agenda is basically the World Economic Forum agenda of a one world government. And they're apparently trying to use European style speech laws. And it looks like California and Colorado are at the front of that as far as suppressing parental rights. So Alan, that being said, do you have anything else that you want to say to these parents and these disenfranchised families in California?
California's changed a lot since I was growing up. I grew up here, but California is still worth fighting for. And you don't have to let the government bully you. Our court system is still there, and you have a voice. If you believe that if you've been censored just because of something you believe in, something you've said, that you have a right to go to court about that. And I strongly encourage you to seek appropriate legal counsel.
Fair enough. Semper Fidelis to all the Marines in San Diego. Take care, Alan.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for your time.